Today, we're talking about the number one mistake life coaches make on their websites. Now, if you've been in the online space for any amount of time, then you are very aware of the I help statement because this has been a very big topic for the past several years. Everyone has a formula for crafting the perfect I help statement, yours truly included. And I'm sure you recall it like it was yesterday because there are still lots of us using them. Now, I'm not bashing or diminishing the power or use of an I help statement. I am, however, going to share how it becomes problematic and why I no longer use it on any of my marketing collateral or posts. Listen until the end of this episode to learn how to make one edit today on your website to improve the amount of time a visitor stays when they land on your website. Hey Coach, welcome back to the Coach by God Entrepreneur Show. I'm 𝗕𝗫 𝗙𝗀𝗃, self-proclaimed mama bear of the coaching industry, certified professional coach, mentor, consultant, tech trainer, and a faith-fueled business maven with a knack for turning chaos into gold. If you are ready to leverage your hard-earned coaching certification, get clarity, create ripples in the marketplace, build a business that glorifies God, and make money, this podcast is for you. You can find out more and connect with me over at 𝗕𝗫𝗙𝗃𝗃𝗃. Ready to dig into today's show? Get ready for a dash of sass, a sprinkle of wit, a dose of wisdom, and a whole lot of no-nonsense strategies that will transform your life and your business. Let's go. Okay, welcome back, coaches. In today's episode, I'm going to help unpack the problem that I see with the I help statement. I'll share what to replace your I help statement with on your website. And I'm going to also introduce the StoryBrand. Now, if you are using your I help statement on the header of the homepage of your website, this episode is for you. Up until 6 months ago, you would have seen one of my I help statements when you landed on my website. In fact, I often changed my I help statement very frequently. So the infamous I help statement can be problematic for online coaches and also for consultants. I'm going to give you what I believe those top 3 problems are. The first one is customer focus. The I help statement is all about the coach, meaning it's coach-centric. So it's focusing on what the coach does rather than the needs and the desires of their potential clients. I think that this kind of makes it difficult to connect with and engage potential clients. Nobody wants to land on your website and read all about you. If you look at most coaches' websites, you will see that these websites speak more about them, the coach, their certifications, their qualifications, their life experience, more than it talks about their ideal client and how they help their ideal clients. The second problem of having an I help statement on your website is it's too generic and vague. It really does fail to differentiate the coach or consultant from competitors and from clearly communicating the unique value that they offer. So like an example of a generic and vague I help statement for an online coach or consultant might be, I help people achieve their goals and live their best lives. Now, while this statement is probably well-intentioned, it lacks specificity. It makes it difficult for potential clients to understand precisely how the coach or consultant is going to help them. It also doesn't share what sets that coach apart from others in that field. It also doesn't clearly address the visitors or the main audience's pain points or aspirations. So it really does reduce its potential impact and effectiveness, especially when it comes to a marketing message. The third problem is lack of empathy. By centering the statement around the coach, the I help approach can come across as almost impersonal and lacking empathy for the potential client situation. It will hinder trust building and connection. So I think instead of an I help statement, a more empathetic and client-focused approach would be a you-centered statement. We're so used to crafting these I-centered statements. I think this type of statement, when you use a you-centered statement, this type puts the potential client's needs, desires, and goals front and center, takes the focus off the coach, and it will demonstrate a clear understanding of their challenges and the commitment to helping them overcome those obstacles. So when I say a you-centered statement, an example could be, you deserve to break free from self-doubt, conquer your fears, and achieve the success you've been dreaming of. Let's unlock your true potential together. You see how that's so much different than I help women entrepreneurs break free from their self-doubts and I help them achieve success, right? We want to take the I out of the statement. Now, it's generally safe to imply that the primary issue with many life coaches' websites is their focus on themselves rather than their target audience. This is called the hero. This self-centered approach often fails to resonate with your potential clients. It's going to lead to poor engagement, poor conversion rates, and it's not going to keep them on your website very long. Now, there's no fault to the coach, right? So there are several reasons why life coaches may fall into this trap. The first one is because they're so full of passion and because of their expertise. We as life coaches are often deeply invested in our work, and we're proud of our expertise. We worked hard to get where we are today. But this passion can inadvertently lead us to emphasize more on our credentials, experiences, our accolades, rather than the benefits that we can actually offer our clients. The second thing is lack of marketing knowledge. A lot of us coaches new coaches coming into the online space, they might not have a strong background in marketing. So this will lead them to overlooking the importance of that customer-centric messaging and storytelling in their website content. Storytelling is so powerful. And then lastly is that personal branding focus. So in an effort to establish our personal brands, a lot of us life coaches concentrate on sharing our unique story, our mission, and our philosophy, and we inadvertently neglect the potential client's needs and concerns. So it is essential, hear me now, it is essential for us life coaches to convey our qualifications and our personal mission, but it's equally important for us to strike a balance between self-promotion and client-centered messaging. Now, research suggests that website visitors make a decision about whether to stay or leave that website within the first few seconds of landing on it. Last time I checked, it was less than a few seconds. Today, I saw that a visitor will stay around 8 seconds before they decide to stay or leave. The point is this: you need to hook the visitor's interest instantly. And the best way to do that is not to make your website about you, but rather about them. Last year, so I do a lot of reading. I love to read books on business. And last year, I read Building a StoryBrand by Don Miller. It is an incredible book. I would say if you don't have it, buy it today. In his book, he introduces and shares what he calls his StoryBrand framework. I've dropped the link in the show notes for you so that you can find his framework very easily. This framework that he has created is truly powerful. It's a powerful tool for creating, engaging, and effective websites that will resonate with your target audience. Now, I'm going to share the template 7 key elements with you really quickly. However, I'm only going to dive deeper into the first one because it's something that I feel and believe that you can implement the moment you're done listening to this episode. So the StoryBrand framework is a 7-part framework, and it includes the hero, who's the customer, problem, guide, which is you, your business, plan, success, failure, and call to action. It's really important to understand your ideal client's journey, and you need to position your business and your website as their guide. So the second thing they tell you is to define the hero and the problem. This is, not the first time you've probably heard this, but you want to be able to identify and articulate very clearly who your ideal client is and what is their pain points, because we want to create relatable and empathetic messaging. 3 is positioning your business as the guide. This is where you're going to explain or showcase your business's expertise and offerings to address the hero's problem. You want to come across as the go-to person. You are their guide. Number 4 is crafting the plan and success outcome. So he provides tips for outlining the process that your business actually uses to help customers achieve success. These are things that you want to put on your website as well. You want to highlight the benefit and the positive outcomes of working with your brand. The next one is addressing failure. You want to address the consequences of not taking action and emphasize the importance of creating that sense of urgency, not when it comes to like limited time offer, but what is the sense of urgency if your ideal client chooses to stay in the same place they are right now, right? You want to be able to emphasize the importance of moving out of that place and clearly articulate how you're going to help them do that. You want to have a compelling call to action, because if you don't have a call to action that encourages visitors to take the desired step, then you're missing traffic, right? You want to have a call to action that's going to add folks onto your email list. And the other thing is you want to incorporate all of the StoryBrand elements into your website design, content, and layout to ensure, that it's a seamless user experience, because you want the people who land on your website to experience, right? Not to just come there, land on your website and hear all about you, all about where you were trained, what all your accolades, again, all of your certifications. So the most critical step, and this is something that you can do right now, is define the hero and the problem and help your ideal client understand how you're going to help them. So identifying the hero represents your ideal client. So it's essential that you know who this person is. And if you haven't already done so, go through the process of creating a detailed buyer persona. Include the demographic information and their psychographics. Because if you don't understand your heroes, your ideal clients' characteristics, you're not going to be able to tailor your message that will address their specific needs. And understanding the hero's pain points. The problem refers to the challenges and pain points that they're facing. So this could be related to their personal or professional life, depending on your business offerings, right? So you're going to make sure that it matches up. And you want to identify the most pressing issues and their root causes. And you can do this by conducting market research, analyzing previous customer feedback, and maybe even just considering your industry's common challenges. The last thing is empathetic messaging. Empathize with the hero's problem by acknowledging their struggles and frustrations. This is so important that it should be at the top of your website. There should be a lot of white space too, not pages and pages and pages of content. Nobody has time to read this. So you need to demonstrate that you understand their experiences and their feelings, because that's what's going to help you establish an emotional connection and build trust with that person. So by clearly defining the hero and problem with the StoryBrand framework, you're going to be able to create that customer-centric approach that effectively engages your audience and will encourage them to seek you as their guide. So there is a psychological principle behind making website content about them and not you. And it's rooted in the concept of the customer centricity and empathy. There are several reasons why this approach is effective. When your content speaks directly to your hero's needs, challenges, and aspirations, As I mentioned before, it's going to create that emotional connection with your audience. This empathetic approach makes the hero feel understood and valued. This is what's going to build that trust and hopefully increase engagement. Now, number 2, people are more likely to pay attention to content that addresses their specific pain points and desires, right? That content that's going to resonate with them, where they're going to see themselves in the words that you have on your website. So when you make your website content about them, you ensure that it remains relevant and engaging, because this will likely lead to increased interest and a higher likelihood of conversion. Number 3, it also overcoming that self-serving bias. Customers are so skeptical of businesses that seem overly self-serving. And almost everybody online seems to be self-serving, right? So by focusing on them and their journey, you're demonstrating that you're not like the rest, that your primary concern truly is to help them solve their problems. You want to help them achieve success, and you're not just merely promoting your own interests. Ego involvement, right? Humans naturally seek out content and experiences that align with their self-concept, just what I said before, and their personal identity. So when you make the hero, who's your ideal client, the focal point of your content or story, you're tapping into their ego involvement. And this is going to increase the chance that they will perceive your offerings as essential to what they need for their personal growth and their goal. The next one is social proof and validation. So when you position yourself and your business as the guide that's going to help this hero overcome their challenge, you're going to create a narrative that resonates with the customers. This serves as social proof. It's also going to help demonstrate that others have successfully navigated the same similar problems with you as the guide. So by focusing on the hero in your website content, taps into the psychological principles of empathy, relevance, trust, and validation. So let's go back to the beginning when I said, remember I help people achieve their goals and live their best lives. That is an I help statement. It's very vague. It's very generic. So if you want to follow the hero framework or the StoryBrand framework, you want to take the focus off of you. So what this would look like, instead of it saying, I help people achieve their goals and live their best lives, you might want to change it to read, become the goal achiever who is living their best life. Right? And that's what the banner or the hero, the header image should say on your website. It should not have an I help statement. So now it's your turn. So turn your I help statement into a you-centered statement. I currently have capacity for 2 one-on-one clients right now. So if you want to redo your entire website based on the StoryBrand framework, then this is for you. Send me a DM. And if you're just looking for some clarity, we can spend a week together. I do have a special limited time offer for a week of mentorship. It's only $222. Grab it while you can. Okay, here's to happy website writing. If you like the episode, please share it with somebody. Thank you and God bless you. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Coach by God Entrepreneur. If this blessed you, please hit the subscribe button and leave me a review. I would be truly blessed if you shared this podcast with another coach. And remember, success in coaching is not just about what you achieve, but who you become in the process. Tune in for more insights and actionable strategies in my upcoming episodes. Stay connected, stay inspired, and let God lead the way to your coaching greatness.